So we expected to have a nice session today with these nice ladies from R-Ladies Buenos Aires. And it's going to be a very nice walkthrough for reproducible research. So how to use Quarto and everything. So that's going to be fun. And we have a nice attendee from France, Puerto Rico, Sweden, Madrid, Bulgaria, Taiwan, American working in Nottingham. My wife is in the other room, and she's from Rosario, Argentina. Mexico City, thank you very much for joining us. Please feel free to follow us on our social networks. I'll put our R-Ladies room link. I don't know if you want to put yours, Betsy, maybe for R-Ladies Buenos Aires.
Hi everyone. My name is Betsabé, but everybody calls me Betsy. Nobody calls me Betsabé. So you can call me Betsy. And I'm a sociologist and I live in Buenos Aires. And today I'm here with my teammates, Virginia and Maria and Anton, which are also part of R-Ladies Buenos Aires. And Jessica was going to join too, but she had a problem, so she's like in spirit between us. So the idea today is to show you a little bit how to use Quarto for reproducible research with R. And we are going to go through a very short introduction about Quarto, and then we're going to dive into some exercises. So if you want to follow along, it's like very easy. You can go through the website that we have already shared here at the beginning of this chat, but I'm going to put it again, just in case it got lost in the lines. And there you will have a short summary about this meetup, and you're going to have also the slides that I'm showing here. So if you want to follow along, you can do it over there. So just to make sure, how many of you have used R4R, or how many of you haven't used maybe Quarto? So Lisette is there. Patrick is using Quarto all the time, so this is going to be super easy for you. Also, a lot of Quarto users, so maybe we can go a little quicker there and then jump into the reproducible research with Quarto for journals.
You should be able to see my screen. So welcome everyone to our June event at our ladies' room, our ladies' room. So my name is Federica Gazzelloni. I'm the lead organizer of this chapter. What is going to happen today is a little introduction of our chapter, and then I'll pass the word to R-Ladies Buenos Aires, which are our colleagues here, and they will present the chapter, and we'll be going through from data analysis to publication, looking at reproducible research with R and Quarto. So what is R-Ladies in general? Now it's just rebranded to R-Ladies Plus. We are part of this larger community, and we are organizing tutorials, workshops, and talks all about data science, empowering the R community in Rome. Our community, as we were discussing just right before, it's a quite international community, and our focus is promoting excellence and visibility for everyone at all levels, data science, statistics, and research. So we welcome everyone and welcome collaborative interaction for learning together, providing a network for everyone to stay updated with the latest in the Touch community. So our global mission is to promote free and lifelong learning for everyone in the data science community worldwide, building a supportive network for underrepresented genders, empowering thousands of data scientists, statisticians, and researchers across the globe. So R-Ladies Plus is now 200 plus chapter active worldwide, 50 plus countries. So we have a global presence, and it is open source first supportive network. We are quite, proud of our journey. We can tell that we have a steady growth, significant increase in memberships and active participation within the Rome data science community over the past 3 years. We hosted expert voices, successfully hosted speakers from a diverse background, industry, academic institutions, and reach our knowledge base. Our aim is to bridge the gaps connecting academia and industry through open source tutorials, talks, workshops, through using R, fostering collaboration and career opportunities for all members. So we can see that we have a consistently high level of attendees and active, inclusive discussions in our meetup. So we are very happy about that. Roaming numbers, 50 plus workshop, 100 plus speakers. We started in January 2023. And so 20 plus countries represented. We are moving from Meetup to Luma. Meetup is where so we count our members. But now we are transitioning from Meetup to Luma. You can see here, luma.com/R-Ladies-Rome, or so anytime we post an event, we post it to a calendar from luma.com, both on Meetup as well and on Meetup as well, just to cover this transition. Okay, so I put our links in the chat. I will put it again. Please follow us. That will be helping us a lot to keep going and organizing interesting event for every one of us. So if you have any ideas, suggestions, please get in touch with us, and we will be happy to arrange things for you as well. So our next event in July will be a summer networking mixed, so casual community, local connection, and share projects and our progress. In August, mostly second half of August, we have Dr. Derek Solleberg that will be introducing us to Typist, a compiler as an open source software, so the new foundation for documents. And September, it will be all about machine learning workshop series. So without further ado, before I introduce today, we have a partnership with R-Ladies Buenos Aires. We are kindly joined by Dr. Betsabé Cohen and Jesica Formoso, researchers and community leaders from Buenos Aires. They are sociologists from the University of Buenos Aires, specializing in cultural industries, master candidates in generation and analysis of statistical information at UNT-REF, PhDs in cognitive psychologists and researchers at Cohen, specializing in statistical methods for health sciences. So I put you all both together. They are fostering a community impact for the Buenos Aires R-Ladies Plus chapter, promoting open source tools, statistical literacy, and reproducible research across academia and industries. Their expertise is extensive, and they are applying R to social science, health science, and statistical research. So without further ado, I thank you very much for joining us, and I pass the word to you. R-Ladies Buenos Aires, thank you very much, and let's stay connected.
Thank you, Federica. Huge introduction. Huh? I feel I hope I will be in the line with that. So let me just share the slides that we have for today. I'm copying, in case you have just joined, I'm copying again the website that we are, where you will find the slides that I'm going to show you, and where you can follow along with some exercise if you want to. Just it's easier to copy and paste links and other stuff. So I don't know if I'm sharing the screen.
Yes, I think, yeah, you're sharing the other one.
I'm sharing the other one. So
yeah, you are sharing the speaker view, I think.
There we
perfect.
go.
That is okay? Okay. Oh, awesome. So I'm going to make this one smaller so I can have both at the same time. So the idea today is to go through a small work around Quarto and reproducible research, and then we're going to dive into journals, and I'm going to go to the agenda, which is easier. This is we have this is Jesi and this is me. So Jesi is not with us today, but she also worked in this project. So just to mention that, and we're going to go through this short agenda, which is why we're going to use why we talk about reproducible research. What is Quarto, in case you haven't used yet, but I know that we have a lot of Quarto users in the house. We're going to see a few core use cases and a short work around Quarto. And we're going to see, and then we're going to dive into academic production with Quarto journals and manuscript, which are like two different approaches, but very similar. If you use one, you're going to use very easily the other. And we're going to see the difference between them. And we're going to go through a few examples so you can put some hands on coding. You see the so you add a backslash and it's going to deploy the entire menu, and you can add like bullets, numbers, all of the stuff. And you don't have to remember how to use a specific code for that. So that's super cool. A super cool options that it has in the visual mode. And you can add chunks in the same way that you do it in R Markdown. And you can also set code chunks options in your document or in a specific chunk. In a specific chunk, we are going to add like this small hashtag plus a pipe sign to comment. And you add it at the beginning of your chunk. For instance, this is echo true, which is like, but you have a lot of options that you can use. If you want to apply that change into your entire document, you can add it at the beginning of your document here in the YAML file with the code options here. For instance, I'm adding here, this is the title, the author, the date, and you have the format HTML. And under the HTML, you just add some tabs there, and you can set all the options for your entire document. Here, for instance, I'm changing the figure width and height. and the code fall through option, which is super cool because it allows you to fold your code for a specific figure, and you don't have to deploy the entire code. Maybe you're sharing this with someone that doesn't code, so it's cool for them. Yes, Maria.
Yeah, there's a question in the chat. I already gave an answer, but I was wondering,
Yeah.
let's see if you had any additional options. Jose was asking if there was any way to import all PPT slides to Quarto. Do you know of any tool? I looked around and I found one that is called PPTX 2MD that seems pretty useful to transform a PowerPoint presentation to Markdown and use that into Quarto. Do you know of any other option, Betsy?
No, actually, no. It never occurred to me to create like a Quarto file from a PPT. Probably because I had PowerPoint. I have a bad relationship with Microsoft tools. But yeah, probably there's someone. The magic about open source code is like someone had that problem before and made it up to you. So yeah, I will just like dig into some, because this is a good example, but probably there are other users that have the same problem. So the way that I start solving problems is probably someone had this problem before me. Not feeling the first one about that. So any other questions about that? Yes, I will probably use AI to convert the PPT to QMD, but not every time that you use AI for QMD, you have like super cool results. Sometimes like digging before into the official documentation and then go into the AI tool to convert the tools with some more information about how Quarto works. It probably will work better as context for the AI tool. That's like my advice on that. So going back to the YAMLs, so yes, you can set the YAML options for your entire document. And then if you have like a specific chunk with some specific, for instance, I want to set a different figure width and height for a specific chunk, I can set it as we saw before with this hashtag pipe sign. I don't know how to call it. Probably it's like the option sign. Are we okay with this? We can just like jump into the manuscript and journals articles. Do we have any other questions? No? Okay, so let's dive into that. So what we can do with Quarto regarding these manuscripts, it can be other in your favorite code editor. So you can use it not only in RStudio, but you can use it in other ways. And you can apply journal styles to your output with Quarto extensions, which are like super useful because you don't have to think about that. Someone already make the style for you. And you can orchestrate like multiple inputs and outputs with embed computing using this Quarto manuscript, because maybe you already have like other documents regarding using your research and you want to made it up in just one file or one project, and so you can do it with the Quarto project type. And then you can produce manuscripts in multiple formats, which is like a huge word. I don't come from academia. In this, that was why maybe Jesi, which she does come from academia, taught me about this, and so it was like a new word for me. But you have like multiple formats that you can include, like LaTeX or for instance Word, and that are required by the journals, and it gives readers like an easy access to all formats through a website. And then you can publish the computations from one or multiple notebooks alongside with your manuscript. So when you create this Quarto project type, like a project type manuscript, you are including all of these notebooks alongside with your manuscript and allow readers to dive into your code, or maybe a specific part of the code that you have in a different notebook. And and view and interact with this in a virtual environment. So that's super cool. And then, of course, you can publish it on GitHub pages or Netlify. I will rather GitHub pages lately, but you can also do it in Netlify in a super easy way. We are not going to dive today into how to publish and automatize that. I think that would be like an entire different meetup. That would be super cool. But it's very easy to use, and you have in the official documentation that I'm leaving the link before, you have how to do it. So which are the difference between journals and manuscripts? In Quarto, a journal refers to a single document. So it potentially will be embedded computations and visualizations designed for publications in journal format. But the manuscript, on the other hand, it represents like a collection of Quarto documents, and potentially it could include multiple chapters that are intended to be assembled into maybe like a more book-like structure. So that's like the main difference between the journals and the manuscript. We're going to see both today. So let's dive into the journals. So if you want to create a Quarto document for your journal, you can find some templates in the GitHub repo at this link that I'm going to leave you over here. So you just go to Quarto journals. I think that is like Quarto, but it's Quarto journals, and you have all the Quarto journal templates there. And it's just like going and installing. It's super easy. You just follow the instructions that give you there. So you go to your terminal, you just type the Quarto use template Quarto journals, and you just accept and say yes to everything. We also say yes to everything. We don't read, then we have problems. So you have your, and they will ask you for the directory name of where you have to install the file, and that's it. You will have something like this when it completes the installation. Yes, so we will have like the title, the format already performed. Yes, what is the difference between Quarto book templates and manuscripts? There are like two different kind of files. So books are one possible way of publication. You have chapters and other stuff, and manuscripts are like very specific, and they apply all of these templates that are like very orientated to being published in a more academic environment. So that will be like the main difference regarding Quarto. And then it depends on the situation that you are. Maybe you are just publishing for presenting this in a more academic environment. I would recommend to go with the manuscripts. But if you want to be more like open to the general public, or not, maybe not having so many like specifications and rules, so in the book you're like more free to go with your public. That would be like the main difference that I understand from the documentation. But you can dive into it and see which one applies to you. So when you we were taking a look at how does it look when we already download the template from a journal. So it will look like something like this. And then we can render by clicking on render. And that will be like very much the idea. Maybe you can change the author. Here in this video, I'm changing the author and I put in my name, which is Betsy Cohen. And that is a lie because it's Betsabé Cohen, but we're going to say Betsy Cohen. And once we render, it will look something like this. So the idea is to, if you want to follow along, to do the two options. If you want to download the one, the journal that I put the template there. If you have already something written, you can start from scratch and create, go to your terminal and write Quarto, create my project manuscript and the name of your project. Or you can, and there start adding manuscript content or whatever, or then you can go to start with a sample from the ones that we have here. I'm going to copy in case you're not following from the slides. And you can start with the template from the manuscripts that we have there. And yes, I'm not going to talk about GitHub today. And that was a tip. So your turn. So if you already have a paper of your own with different art files and all the stuff, you can go to the RStudio terminal and create a new project from scratch, just like by copying this that I have already in the slides. Or you can go to the option 2, which is going to this. I'm going to copy again here and installing the option. So I'm going to give you a few minutes if you want to go along. And I'm going to have some cold coffee.
Is this template it's possible to use this template with VS Code as well? You know?
I haven't tried it, to be honest. I know that you can use it with Positron. That wouldn't be a problem. But I think that you have to install Quarto in VS Code, probably, to use it. So probably if you're using Quarto from VS Code, you should be able to use it. Yes, and also Positron looks very similar to VS Code. That was the idea. So if you're already using VS Code and you want to use something like looks like and feels like very similar, you should be able to use it in VS Code too. But I haven't tried it, so that would be like the main idea. So
yeah, just shared in the chat a link for participants who want to explore that option.
Cool. So when you are finished with that, you're going to have a Quarto manuscript minimal folder that should look like something like this. No, when we create the project from scratch, Quarto creates this minimal project structure that includes the Quarto YAML. Remember the Quarto YAML, the index.qmd, which is a notebook where we will write the manuscript in the manuscript. And this reference.bib file, which is here, that document is what it's going to give us is the citations and the reference that we will use all along our paper. So it's a super cool way to solve this in a way that we can refer from and organize our references along the paper. So let me show you how it looks like. So the Quarto YAML, it will look something like this. You will have the project type, which in this case is a manuscript. And along with the manuscript, we have at least one document, which is the index QMD. And we will have like some formats that already are like set up by Quarto. We have as default, we can set up this format, which is the doc file, and shots, which I don't remember which format it corresponds, just forgive me. And then we can follow along, and we will have, we can also see that we have this part of this bunch of formats, which is HTML or docs or chats in this case. But maybe we can add all the formats that we need here in the format section, or I don't know how to call it. So the basic workflow will be to, once we have all the we have this minimal structure. We will be writing our manuscript, we write our manuscript, we are happy with our manuscript, and we make changes in the content. For instance, I don't know, I changed the title, I changed the other, just to make small adjustment here. And then we can preview the changes by clicking this render button that you will have at the top of your top bar, and it will look something like this. So you will have the main title, all the others that you have added, the different formats that we suggested in the YAML, the PDF, the Word, whatever, the abstract, some keywords, and some coding. And then we have the manuscript itself with the table of contents, which is very similar to our typical RMD files, but the structure itself, it's different. So we can have like the structure of the manuscript here, and we have the article, and all of the other documents that are part of this project are going to be here in the notebook section under the table of contents. So, am I forgetting something? Probably. Probably I'm forgetting something. Excuse me. So we have, this is how it looks like. Beautiful. So if you haven't rendered, you can open the index QMD file that you have there. And you have to render and preview with the render button by hitting the render button. So, and you will see some output options from Quarto in the background. So don't worry, the Quarto background shows pane is going to be like painting in red. And then the changes, you can change the title of your index or whatever other things that you want to change, and see how, save the file and re-render and see the changes. So that's the idea here. So maybe, for instance, I want to change from La Palma earthquake, it's going to change or something to something different. It's going to be, I don't know, another name. So the idea is to have one file to rule them all. Like the Lord of the Rings, you have one, you rule them all. So the idea is that you just create one document, which is in this case and then you set all the formats that you want in the Quarto YAML. So you will have with one document your docs, your JATs, and I don't know, maybe your PDF. For instance, we are setting the PDF with the text true here. So I have 4 options that are listed at the HTML. That is one of the lookings that we are looking for. For instance, this is something that I was forgetting. The comment hypothesis rule allows this here. It allows to activate for my HTML files. So it allows you to add comments, as we have seen before for the PDF. So we have also different options in order to keep reproducibility. We can keep the Markdown files that we have generated as part of the project, the notebook files, or as I'm choosing here, the intermediate text files that are generated, which I find specifically helpful as I work on the manuscript. So every once in a while, there are some, maybe you have an error in a formula. And you want to resolve by simply opening that file specifically and then re-render and then try and look at the log. So it will leave just the log there, and it will be very helpful to immediately make the file available. So you will just change that, and it will cross over all the other files. So you don't have to go and change each file at once. So apart from the obvious, that is the title, you can set the authors, informations, the affiliations, the ORCDs, and all the stuff. You can change it here, and it will allow you to from your index QMD. which is the one that we were seeing before. So you can change it here. And this is an example of how we can use computations in the body of your text. So you can use compute values by adding this like R code expression. And for instance, if you maybe you're in the index QMD and you want to set up, I don't know, a piece of text here, and you just set up the R expression, and when it renders, it would look like this, which is like super cool. And then for the code chunks, for the options of the figure tables, it also, you can set it up on at the beginning of your chunk code, as we've seen before. So we have already seen the echo option that we can embed calculations and reference in the chunk. And in this chunk, the label option is used to add like an identifier to the code cell. And it's for example, it allows to cross-reference along the text. So you don't have to, just by clicking, the user is going to go exactly to your reference. So the prefix here is like using like this fig here, like fig cap, fig out, fig height, etc. So we'll get back to cross-reference in a moment. But for now, the important thing is to understand that the option fig cap, it provides the caption and the text is displayed below the figure and in the manuscript. So, and fig out provides the alternative text to your figure by helping you your manuscript web page to meet the accessibility guidelines that are probably going to be required for you. So computations are also a good way to include tables based on data. So you can read more about doing this on the table computations. So here we have an example of a citation. To add citations, you need remember the bib file that we saw before, and in the main structure, we are containing that citation data. So you can specify this file in the document file YAML with the bibliography option. For example, the citation of the data for index QMD is stored in the reference bib that we saw before. So you will write the reference bib file like this. So with this add article and all the information about your bibliography, and you can use it whenever you want in your file. And to cite an article from the bibliography in your text, you add just the add and followed by the citation identifier, which is here. In this case, is Marrero 2018. And it will look something like this when it renders. So I'm writing my text. I'm writing the bib. I just write the reference here for the bib, which is already in the bib file as we saw before, and it's going to render like this. And you have like different, and when hovering over, this is beautiful. When you hover over the citation text, it reveals like the full reference details that is in the bib file. And it's going, and you can click there and go to the citation itself. You need to add manually the references in the bib file. Yes, you just add it once. It's like a collection of your entire bib. And once you add it, you can use it whenever you need it in your manuscript. And that for me is like so cool, because I always have problems like trying to remember what's going on and how I create a site, the citations. So for me, it was like, this is the best thing that can happen in your life when writing an article. And it will look something like this. So when you hover, it's going to look something like this. I don't have an idea, he said, sorry. I don't know what Zotero is. So another style, you can use different styles for your citations within the parentheses. For instance, here we have a different one. And you can set like between brackets. So, and And this is I'm leaving here all about citations. So if maybe you want to go and dig a little bit more about citations, you can do it here. And I'm leaving also the link here. So if you want to add a citation, I can give you a few minutes. I don't know if you want to follow along. So you can just simply go to your bib file, the one that we saw at the beginning, and add a citation there. It could be a real one, a fake one, whatever you want. And you can go back to your indexing QMD file and use the citations with the add sign and the ID of your citation, and then render your file and be happy with your citation. I don't know, it's just for citations, it's something that I hate to do manually. So when I saw it here, it was like, yes, thank you, Quarto. So if you want to follow along, I will give you just a few minutes. Oh, so maybe I haven't seen it in the documentation in Quarto, but maybe it is there, or someone, because you have different templates, Lisa. So maybe there's a specific template for that, or maybe there's a package for using Zotero as a bibliographic manager. So I would dig into that specific. This is very simple way to use citations inside your project, but maybe there's a specific way to use in Zotero in this context. Because citations is everyone has their way to use it. Yeah, maybe, Patrick, that could be possible. So, shall we keep on? We have just a few more slides to go. All right, so I'm moving to cross-reference. I hope you can add some citations there, or maybe you're going to do it later. So about cross-references. So in Quarto, you can generate cross-reference that keep track of numbering and linking for you. So you don't have to remember table number, something. So the general syntax for cross-reference is to use, again, the add followed by a label or an identification. For example, the reference, the timeline figure, you could write to render the cross-reference, you have to include a word to indicate the type of object being referenced, like figure or maybe a table. So here I have a label as figure, for instance, timeline, which is my specific tag. So when I render, it should look something like this. So I use it like this. All the piece of my text, between brackets, I use the reference specific with fig timeline, so that I have already tagged. And then it will render like this. And figure 1. So it's going to be numbering automatically every figure that I use. So I don't have to remember that, I don't know, I use 3 figures or 1 figure or 20 figures. It's time consuming to use external figures in Quarto. Can you be more specific? You can open your mic, I think. Or not. Adjusting the width and height of the image, you mean? Is that what you mean, Jose? Yes. Yeah, you can add it there at the beginning of your YAML. You can set up the width and the height of the images for your entire document. But if you want to set it for a specific chunk, for instance, you can add it as an option. So you have the fig width and fig height options that we saw before. And with that, it should be like a very short approach. Is it as easy as in, I don't know, like this drag and drop that maybe PowerPoint offers you? No. But I think sometimes I think that that PowerPoint and Quarto are like for different kind of usage. So maybe if you're more visual or you're using images all the time, maybe it's easier to just create an image and just paste it in Quarto, or create an image in, I don't know, in InDesign or whatever tool you use, and then put it in Quarto. But it depends. I feel that in this context, which is using for journals and other stuff, with the fig option on your chunk, it should be enough, because we are always using like tables and other stuff, and I feel that it's easier to work with that than in PowerPoint or in Word. For instance, in Word, it's like a nightmare to work with tables, and I feel that in Quarto it was easier for me. But with using those options, it should be like the right approach. I don't know if that helps. Sorry. You can write me later on. It's no problem. So for cross-reference elements and prefix, this is something that we use, which is super useful, and just to make like a reminder for us. So fig, and it will render as figure 1, table. So that's like the element, the prefix that we're going to use is TBL, and it will render like table 1. And equations, it will be like EQ, and it will render as equation 1, 2, 3, whatever it is. And for sections, it's also like this section as like sec, and it will render like section 1, 2, 3, and whatever it is. But remember that to cross-reference sections in your document YAML, in the header, you must also include like the number sections true, because it's not going to number the sections if you do not allow the number sections true option at the beginning of your manuscript. So you can add a label to section heading in curly braces, and after heading, data and methods. So you just go like between your braces and go like sec data methods, and then you can reference the sections in the text by adding the add section that we were using before to reference data and methods and discuss and whatever it is. Yes. So this is an example of how it looks in the visual mode, which is also like I was saying before, like the friendly way for the non-coding people. And then we have like this statistic figures and images to include. So you can to include a figure from a file that the Markdown syntax looks like. It will be like something like this with the exclamation sign. This is like the typical thing that we used to use in Markdown. It works, but you can use it in the visual mode. And you can use by using this fig name of image inside curly braces, and it will follow by the image path. So you can provide the reader like a label cross reference for that image, which is also super cool. So you can use like, you can write something like this, the typical Markdown sign for images, and your path for that image. And between curly braces, I'm adding like this extra information about the figure. So I have a fig map and fig out. So it says it's a map of Canary Island, blah, 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 all the information about the image that I'm using. And it's going to render like a part of the image, of the information of the image. And then publishing, we're not going to dive deeper in publishing, but it's as easy as going to Quarto Publish, and it's going to publish in your terminal. But then if you choose to go to GitHub pages on the platform you prefer, you can learn more than that in the publishing section from the documentation in Quarto. You can automatize that, and it's so cool because each time you render, it will automatically go through GitHub Actions, and it's going to update your website or your online publication. So I highly recommend going through that. And you can have all the information here on the Quarto docs publishing. I'm leaving the link here in the slides, but I am also leaving it here in case you don't find it. So what else can I do with Quarto? You can do presentations like the one that we are seeing here today. You can use Quarto for dashboards, which is super cool. And there are so many ways, and you can combine it with Shiny in case you haven't gone through Shiny. It's like very easy way to go like a pre-Shiny station. And you can use it to create maybe your personal website, which I highly recommend, and or maybe your first book, as we said before. So if you want to follow us in R-Ladies Buenos Aires, these are our networks. We are on LinkedIn, and we have a website. And that's it for today. I don't know if you have any questions. And I'm drinking a cold mate, which is like the worst thing that you can do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Sorry to speak up. May I?
Oh.
Well, thanks. I have a question that I would like to ask. Perhaps sometimes, well, we need to work by sharing some document with a team or with many people, let's say 2 or 3 or more authors. How do you solve those things by using Quarto? I mean, is it possible to share the QMD file and be adjusted by several members at a time and then not to break up the team in the process? Thank you.
No, just one word, GitHub. Just use GitHub. Try to work. I don't know, especially in this kind of projects where there are so many files, so many things that could go wrong. I highly recommend using GitHub in your team, or GitLab in case you use GitLab. But it's going to be like the best way to organize your job. Actually, GitHub gives you, I don't use it that way, but I know that it's very easy to use to organize your work like in different projects. And and Quarto works perfectly with GitHub. It is actually, it's thought to be, it's prepared to work in that way. So I would definitely go that way. I don't know if it answers part of your question, but yes, it's like
Sure,
a Dropbox, or maybe it's better like the Dropbox because it gives you like the specifications about which changes you are following, and it allows you to go back, go forward again. So I highly recommend using GitHub. And this Virshi, this talks about the thing that we were talking before this meetup, to have a meetup about GitHub. So this goes for a vote for that. Any more questions? Complaints? recommendations.
Thanks very much. That was very useful. I
Thank you,
managed
Jessica.
to clone the repo, and so I will be diving into it a bit. Thank you very much. Okay. So if there's any other questions, do you use it a lot for your research, for your articles, maybe your papers and things?
You were, Lisette says she was able to run it from Positron, so happy to hear that.
Yeah. I cloned it. I asked Copilot to clone the repo from VS Code. So it did everything by itself. Clone the
Awesome.
repo, create the directory, open the project.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Okay, we should organize another one.
Okay. So I don't have anything else. I don't know if someone has something that wants to share.
No, I just want to say thank you. Thank you. It was a great introduction. I mean, in the basic way, I mean, to enter in this way of thinking. I believe that this is more a way of thinking in a reproducible way of each document we are making. So that was the the idea behind the question of sharing documents and sharing code and all of this stuff. And GitHub is a nice option as well. So thank you for the advice, and thanks for these opportunities to connect and also to learn from other disciplines, that we can all learn many things in these types of conferences. So thank you very much, Betsy, and the organizers.
Sure, we will be posting the recording on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@R-Ladies-Rome. We will be sending an email from Luma or Meetup with the recording, also posting on our social networks. I don't know if you have your channel as well. I guess so. Yeah, your YouTube channel.
Yes. I think that we have a YouTube channel, so we can share it there.
Yeah, so
we don't use it a lot. I don't know why.
that's okay.
But we do use our website, and we post all our meetups there. If you are a Spanish speaker, you will find a lot of it. They are in Spanish. Sometimes we do in English, as we can, in this English that I have. But yes, you will find several meetups about Quarto if you are interested in Quarto. And if we have enough people, maybe we can just do one about GitHub. I feel that maybe it was something like it was in the air. It is useful for a lot of people, and it is also useful for us always to revise all that knowledge, and we learn new things too. So for us, it's so cool to go through the topics again.
Great.
So thank you so much, Federica, and thank you all of the people that joined us today. And see you around.
See you next month. Have a nice
See
Sunday.
you.
Nice rest
Bye.
of the week. Bye. Bye-bye.